Welcome into another Mystery Fifth Hour presented by McCurry Van Car Rental, along with Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Rockstar. I'm Ryan Brown. McCurry brings you the Mystery Fifth Hour. Those hard-to-find rental vehicles, trucks, SUVs, passenger vans, they make it easy. They get you in and out fast, and they got locations in Athens, Muscle Shoals, Huntsville, and Coleman on 2nd Avenue Northwest. Call and reserve your rental today, 559-1003. That's 256 number, 559-1003. Or McCurry Rentals, that's McCurryRentals.com. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you give us a thumbs up on YouTube and subscribe and set your alerts and follow us on social media at Next Round Live. Rockstar, you had a fascinating, you've got a sucker, first of all. What kind of sucker?
This is not going to go anywhere near my...
Everyone would hear it if it did.
Yeah. This is just a prop. There's nothing on it. It looks like a piece of bubble. It's just stuck on a stick. I got a question.
Flavor
it's like a piece of clay.
It really does. It looks like you're eating clay.
No, he's not in town. He's in Nashville.
Do you remember the kick wheel clay? Weren't you good at that?
I was
the ghost thing.
No, I tried it one time with a girl in college.
Was she spooning you or you spooning her?
She was spooning me. A women's basketball player.
No.
She
Point guard?
no joke. She was
Point guard, she played post?
She was a forward.
Yeah.
She was a three, shooting forward.
So she probably could control the clay with those big hands.
That was her major. She was an art major.
Yeah. Did you post up?
But I was the one
wheel?
sitting in front. She was behind me.
Jim, you got to do it like this.
What music was playing?
Well, mine went limp and collapsed. No joke. I could never get it to stand up. It just sounds horrible. But in reality, I could never get it to work.
Right.
Could never get it to work.
So you never got it far enough to
Shout out
Throw it
Kelly.
in the kiln?
You never got it far enough to stick it in the kiln?
No, never baked mine. Shout out Kelly. Kelly Green.
Where's Kelly Green now? Is she in the WNBA?
She's now retired teacher over in the state of Georgia. A wonderful teacher, just retired this past year after 25 years or 30 years, whatever it was in Georgia.
Okay.
So she's in the Sports Hall of Fame.
It happens to almost every putter.
Yeah, it does. That clay is hard to.
I could never do it.
Yep, could never do
I've
it.
never even tried it,
The
honestly.
best is when it dries quickly on your hands. And that great
Because
feeling.
you keep having to add water, right?
Oh, yeah.
All the
Dry
time.
feeling.
You got to keep kicking that damn pedal too.
I never did that in high school. Y'all did that in high school?
Yeah.
No joke.
We had art class. Yeah.
We did it in 8th grade. Or
Yeah, I think it
middle
was middle school actually.
Yeah. I don't know if I took that art
But
class.
anyway, I jumped in there because you're a sucker. But
Yeah, you're sucking looking
I got
at
a
blank
question for
slate.
you
All right,
guys.
fire away.
school. If you were given an envelope and inside was the date of your death, would you open it?
But it's a dilemma for me because
Not the year. Let's just say it's March 26th.
Oh, that does
Ooh.
change it a little bit. But
Yeah.
will you dread every March
Yeah.
26th?
No, it needs to have the year too.
Yeah, I got to have the year. It's got to be the year.
It's got to be the year too.
If it had the year, my problem, and you're probably in the same boat, is I'm a worrier, but I'm also a planner.
Right.
So I think there would be something good about getting your estate in line and saying all your goodbyes and just having everything tidied up. But at the same time, I would worry nonstop until that date. So I don't know. It's such a dilemma.
But you've already told me how you said.
But I think I would take it.
You said
I
the
think
other
I'd
day.
open it.
You said the other day on the air. I only have how much longer to live? You said what?
10 years?
No, it
It
was
was
Brown
12
that said it.
I'll
12
give you
years?
20.
No,
I'll give
Brown
you
gave
20
you
years.
20 years.
20
years.
Yeah. Yeah, which barely. I mean, it doesn't even get me to.
48.
Who we were talking about on the show today that was 80 doesn't even get me close to the 80
Jerry
mark
Jones.
yet. Come on, Jerry Jones. I don't even make it Jerry Jones' age. I'm in better shape than Jerry Jones.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
but
get
I mean,
there.
think about other people where their life was cut short.
I want to know. I would
Kurt
want to know.
Cobain, 27.
Well,
Yeah.
he cut it short, though.
Yeah, he had a hand in that.
It wasn't like
There's rumors that what might not have been
Courtney,
his hand.
yeah.
Yeah.
He looked at his envelope and said, "Hell no, I'm not going to be here that long."
This one's handwritten.
I think that it's one of the greatest gifts that we don't know when it's going to happen.
Yeah, so is it tricking God by knowing when it
But
was?
if I did know, I mean, I would be able to, like I sort of approach it now anyway at my age that this could be my last Super Bowl to watch, so I try to enjoy all those things. So
Good
I
outlook on
try
life.
to live life that way.
This could be your last Mystery Fifth Hour.
It could.
I think
It
I think his fingers are crossed.
could. More importantly, the other day I was talking to myself. I'm not going to say it, but I do some things during the week that I'm like, oh, this could be the last time I fill my gas up, or the last time I do this,
Wow.
or the last time I do that. You never know.
You know what you need?
What?
A friend.
Yeah.
Last time
Or an edible.
Just somebody to
An edible
talk
with
to,
friends.
yeah.
This is the last time we're going to talk on the phone. This is the last time we're going to hang out.
Red. That's awful.
Um,
But hey, real quick,
It drives Maggie crazy, by the way. I was like, baby, you sure you don't want to go to dinner tonight? You never know. Could be our last time.
This will be the last thing I say about it. I think I would do it because then you would know financially where you are on everything.
So, but Rockstar's alternate there. I was just thinking about this. So, if you just knew the date, like March 25th.
Oof.
All right, hang on though. Do you think like every March 24th you would just blow it out? Like this may be my last night. Let's go do every fun thing.
Or the part where like
No, because that would end up killing me.
Well, I mean, you're going anyway, maybe.
But then on the 26th, man, it'd be like, oh, that
All right,
wasn't
another year. We're back, baby.
Yeah.
Got a
Jim,
whole another year.
Jim, you're driving 120.
Nope.
I'm not scared.
I'm good.
No, I think I would
Zoom.
eat liquids and stay in the house all day on that day.
But you're going to die.
Well, I mean, it could be an aneurysm, a heart attack, or something like that.
But if it's your appointed day to die, you're going to die. So why would you change the way you live?
Because I don't want to. I'd rather like have an aneurysm and die than have a steamroller roll me over. Like if you're out in the public, anything could happen.
A steamroller.
Pack of
it
wild
happens all the
dogs.
time. Happened to the dude on Naked Gun.
Oh, it
After
did.
the
Yeah.
USC marching band went over.
Yeah.
I
It
mean,
was
we,
Ricardo Montalban.
we talked to the crane operator that did his leg get caught in it.
When
Well,
his.
his didn't. A friend of his.
but
yeah.
the other guy. I'm just saying, if you're at home, there's least likely things that would happen. If you're going to go down, it's going to be something of natural causes, unless it's a home invasion.
So what you're saying is, like, if you open an
Home
envelope,
invasion with the guy with the steamroller. Damn it!
you got it. If you're opening,
With a
I just wouldn't have been here.
He got me at 1 mile an hour.
With a pack of wolves driving it.
if you open an envelope that says March 26th, you're saying every March 26th you would shut the doors, pull the blinds, stay home, and don't do anything.
I would, yeah. And I'd have milkshakes, just because I wouldn't choke on
Just
food.
nothing but milkshakes.
Yeah.
Never brain freeze.
Yeah, because then, I mean, I think the best way to go is probably at like 80 something in your sleep.
Yeah. See, so all of a sudden you give yourself 80 something, but I don't get 80 something. Why do we keep going back? Why do I get cut short?
I'm not the fucker that, he's the one that said it. I didn't say it. He's the one that gave you 20
I
years.
think I was just using it as an example, Jim. I don't really control how long you live.
I think it was kind of a shot, but I didn't say it, and I don't know why it's getting thrown on me.
It's built in.
I think you got a good chance at like 82, 83.
The best way is to die in your sleep, is it not? It's the way to go. Yeah.
I mean, look,
Spoiler alert for Yellowstone.
I
but
saw
yes.
I saw my old man suffer this past, well, really for the last 6 years.
Yeah.
And it's just, and you're a burden on everybody else.
Yeah.
Do you, like, if you got the date, all right, so let's say it's the actual date. Let's say you open the envelope, and this is really your original question, right? And it says your date of death is August 14th, 2033. Was that your question?
Yeah.
Would you tell your loved ones?
No.
Or would you
No.
keep it to yourself? You wouldn't tell your
Yeah.
wife?
Well,
Or your
if it's
girlfriend?
if it's 2033, like, hey, we're going to so and so. I got a beach trip. It's
Well, like if it's 2033.
August 10th.
Well, I mean,
or 14th.
if you're single at that point, they'd be like, "Hey, I'm going to die tomorrow." I don't know if that would work at a bar, but
I don't think they'll buy that one.
look at my envelope.
And then 5 months later, you see LT back in the Floribama. You told me we were going to die.
Yes. So you would tell no loved ones. You would let it be a complete surprise to them.
I've even thought about, like, if you get diagnosed with something serious, about keeping it from them.
Me too.
Yeah, I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I don't know. Yeah.
So,
I
like, if
thought
the-
about telling Maggie, but keeping it from the kids and keeping it from you guys.
Yeah, I mean, you got to have somebody drive you somewhere, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you've been given 6 months to live, last month people are gonna notice. Like you're not just gonna.
Maybe Freddie Mercury put a lot of makeup on.
I don't know.
It did not help.
I don't have hair brown already.
To fall out.
I don't put lotion on my face. So you already talk about how ugly I am. So
Well,
I don't.
and you got 20 more years.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you'd notice if I was dying next week.
When you lost all that weight, people asked me if you were sick. I mean, I got asked a lot.
I
if
tell you what,
were
I got
sick.
asked if I was sick a lot when the lighting in our studio on my side, it gives me that jaundice yellow look a little time. Yeah. And
Now or in our old
no,
place?
here, but it doesn't do it anymore. But there were people that were like,
You're really jaundiced.
"Is he sick?"
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we just got the color back in your face. We haven't changed the lighting.
Was it Woodhouse Day Spa?
I think so.
Hydrofacial.
You get the hydrofacial, you're good to go now for another year.
So would you guys do it?
No.
I don't think I would.
No, I wouldn't want to look at the envelope. I'd rather it surprise. I don't guess it really surprises you because you die, but I guess it surprises your family, which kind of sounds bad for me to say it that way. But you're saying you wouldn't even tell your loved ones.
Yes, or what would you say if your spouse got the envelope would you want them to tell you? Like they know.
So like Jennifer is handed an envelope, says, "Here's the date of Ryan's death."
Yes. And do you
Well,
want her to
no,
tell you? Kind of like the sex of the baby.
You could, I mean, then you'd have to do everything.
Yeah,
Like, you wouldn't want them to do the laundry or dishes.
Just that year. Just that
I would
year.
hate that because then Maggie's like, "Hey, I cooked you a red velvet cake," and she'll have lingerie on, and I'm like, "What are you doing? Am I dying?" And she'd be like, "Well, actually,
won't- no,
yes.
she won't.
Tomorrow."
No, you would have to kiss ass nonstop
Yeah.
if you knew that they were.
I kind of want
doctors.
dinner now. Well, you're going to have it in about 5 years. What? Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, but
Thinking about going back to school. I wouldn't worry about it.
But then imagine, so if your wife looked at it and didn't tell you though, like when that day approaches, just imagine you don't know and she does.
Yeah.
Like how she's going to be acting. Like, why are you acting?
Are
Why are
you
you acting this way?
Are you giving me a surprise party?
No,
This
just
is
tell
so
me.
like you.
Just tell me.
Why are you on Tinder for widows?
Is there one for that? There's got to be, right?
Well, I think it's just normal Tinder. You don't have to be a widow.
It could be Reaper, couldn't it?
Reaper benefits.
Reaper.
So if you
That's
could
like a
have an
little dark.
envelope with one other person's expiration date.
But you don't know who it is?
No, you can pick anybody you want.
So like you, I could say, I'd
Yeah.
like Lance's date
Yeah.
of death, and I'll look at it and go,
Is there anybody you would want?
no. I mean, maybe my wife.
I wouldn't want to know that.
How? Why? I don't understand why you wouldn't want to know that. Like,
Why would you want to know?
Because I probably would be on Tinder for widows at that point. It'd be
Yeah,
the
but
same
what,
time.
what if it was like in a week?
but you'd rather be surprised with the death of your wife in a week than know it was coming and at least be able to enjoy that last week, knowing it's the last week I'll ever have with her.
I don't know if you could enjoy the week.
Well, I'm not going to enjoy it when she dies either.
No, it's gonna be bad then, but it's gonna be bad either way.
Yeah, it's bad either way. So what's the difference?
I just think you'd be miserable that week. I think you'd be overcompensating. And she'd be like, "What'd you do wrong? You're bringing me flowers again."
You're not going to. You haven't been to work in a month. I want to be here. Are you feeling okay?
Oh, this is a weird question.
Thanks.
Man. Takes you down a bad rabbit hole. It is the Mystery Fifth Hour presented by McCurry Van and Car Rental, the local rental company you can depend on. All kinds of vehicles, choose from, like trucks, SUVs, passenger vans. They make it easy to rent, helping you get in and out fast. Locations in Athens, Muscle Shoals, Huntsville, and Coleman on 2nd Avenue Northwest. Call and reserve your rental today, 256-559-1003 or McCurryRentals.com. That's 256-559-1003 or McCurryRentals.com. I wanted to ask you guys about a bad smell that brings back good memories. And I know it's a weird sounding question, but let me explain what mine is. So a friend of mine, when we were growing up, he was one of the early ones to get his driver's license. And that is a whole new sense of freedom once one of your friends gets their driver's license, right? And you remember the guy, you probably all had him in your class that had the early birthday?
Yep.
So he was like the first one to get the driver's license. And his dad had a classic car, but it didn't have air conditioner. Like it was a muscle car type thing, right? Didn't have air conditioner, so you had to ride with the windows down. And like the exhaust almost blew back into the car. Like all you could smell was the engine. That's all you could smell, no matter what was going on. And it would almost give me a headache, but that summer of finally like the leash being broken and we could go anywhere just about we wanted to go at any time we wanted to go.
You love that smell.
I love that smell. And I could get in a car that has that smell and it takes me immediately back to that summer. Like the summer of my sophomore year where you felt like, I mean, we're probably going in a 3-mile radius, but you felt like you had more freedom than anybody in the world. And it was just this newfound freedom, and that smell reminds me of that freedom.
It was fun just to drive around back in the day. I hate driving now, you guys know that, but I mean, just going nowhere.
Well, I'd been driving since I was 13, but we only did it in our neighborhood and in like the general vicinity. And now we just had this freedom legally to go anywhere we wanted, but we had to go in that one car. And the smell of that car was just, it was like frequently I'd get a headache. But still, heck, I didn't care. We were out.
I've got a couple. So, I started going to concerts really early.
Right.
And it was one of my things, because I had an older brother that was 3 years older, and then we had other kids that ran around the neighborhood, the Flints.
Oh, yeah.
And so we would get carpooled and we'd get dropped off at Boutwell for most shows. And then the big shows we get dropped off at the BJCC. But I just never forget Boutwell, they just didn't have a good ventilation situation.
Right.
And so I was like, 10, 11, 12 years old, and you'd walk in there, and before they turned the lights out, you could see the smoke, and you could smell nothing but weed. and then the lights would go dead, and then when they would turn it back on after the show, you'd even see more smoke. But I remember just the only time I would ever smell weed as a kid was at a concert at Boutwell. So when I started to smell weed as an adult, and even still now, and you smell it everywhere, you go, from New York to Chicago to Vegas, just on a corner you smell weed, or even down in Birmingham. And it just brings back that memory.
My little one wanted, what was that cookie? Insomnia cookies that's down at 5 Points. And so we had to drive all the way down there. And I get there and open the door, and it freaking knocks you over in 5 Points.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's all you could smell.
And then my other one real quick, you had a Samurai, I had a Samurai. I used to just leave the top off of my Samurai.
Right.
And it had plugs in the bottom. So I would just unplug those so the water would drain out when it would rain in it. But it had that musty, mildewed smell.
Yep.
That's mine.
And yeah, I still, anytime I smell that, whether it's somebody's house or, I don't know, anywhere.
When we would camp.
It takes me back to that Samurai and some of those summers, and it was a lot of fun.
When we would go camping, when we would do the tent to get in the tent, you'd have a little bit of that smell, like maybe it had been put up wet or been in the garage long enough.
Bad smell.
Oh, it's a terrible smell.
We had a friend that was our first friend that turned 16 first, and he got like a 1991 Mazda 929, and it had cloth interior. I mean, it probably had over 100,000 miles on it. He went to the Galleria, left his sunroof open and the windows down, and had a monsoon. Cloth interior just got destroyed. It smelled so bad. But we went to eat. I mean, this is when we probably piled 9 people in that car because all of us were 15 and he was 16. We went to, and he was the smallest one of our group, and we went to a monster truck thing at the BJCC.
You went to a monster.
Yeah, that is a.
We were 15 years old. It was anything we could do. And so we were sitting almost in the nosebleeds, and we were sitting there. He had a corduroy jacket on, and all of a sudden we're talking, and beer is all
Did he
over.
have a pipe too?
Beer is all over him. Somebody had just gotten their beer and poured it on him from the section behind us. So he gets up all wrought up and bowed up, and he turns and goes, "What the hell?" And it's just some massive dude just doing this.
Like, what you gonna do about it?
And he puts his shoulders back down, and he goes, "Well, y'all want to leave?" I was like, "Yeah, let's leave." So like, none of us just get up and just shamefully leave the monster truck rally and get in a mildew-smelling car.
Oh my God, you're
We were kidding.
you guys
I thought
were
this
like
was a good
Gary
memory.
and who was the other in Weird Science?
Wyatt.
Yeah, Gary and Wyatt sitting in the mall just getting
With Robert Downey
slushies
Jr.
dumped on you.
Yeah, we were called the Poon Kings. I don't know what that meant.
I thought you were going to go a different smell. I thought you were going to go with your neighbor that hung himself.
Oh my God.
Well, no, because that was
What about the mate that got shot?
no, because that was
Sometimes.
like this. You were out on your own at that time. It was like your
Sucking your
first,
toes.
first place. You didn't have the responsibility of a wife, kids, really not a job.
And that's the first smell that the Asian woman 2 doors down came to me, who I never knew. I had an Asian neighbor, and she knocked on the door and asking if my place smells bad.
Yeah.
And I said, "It always smells bad. I got a Boston Terrier that just nonstop shats." And she's like, "Well, can you come next door to me to this house in this townhome? Do you smell that?" And I was like, "It just smells like a garbage disposal." And she's like, "Should I call the police?" And I was like, "I don't know the dude. I see him every time at the mailbox, but I don't personally know him." And the next day I hear this huge vacuum sound, and I go out with my Boston Terrier, and this dude's in a biohazard suit, takes his, not even prompted, takes his suit off and says, he hung himself, he's been in there for 12 days. Ooh. And I was like, that could have been my best friend, that's how you tell me. Like, no, I didn't even ask, like, "Hey, what's going on?" Peter. Yeah.
So he just pulls that.
Dad. Yeah. And it was like he was itching to tell somebody. I was like, "Well, all right,
Light up a smoke.
No, but it was something. I remember.
Would have been funny.
Some bitch been in there
That was,
couple days.
according to Lance, that's the smell that makes me feel good. Yeah, that's a good story.
My best friend's last day in the hospital, the colostomy bag. I'm kidding.
God, dog.
That's for good measure.
Oh, rock star.
No, for me, back in the the 80s, back when I could get a girlfriend, back in the day, just late at a bar, be sitting at the bar's closing, you're still there, you're going to probably go home with the girl, and they start cleaning the bar down. There's a smell of that bar, even before they get the cleaning smell out, just when they're, whatever the drainage area is and that pad, there is a bar smell of all the liquids and the pour out and everything together. It's a horrible smell. But it brings back some good memories.
Smells like closing time.
Yeah, just being young and there with the bar closing and just hanging out.
You're talking about the kid that turned 16 first.
Yeah.
Well, our buddy was Stuart. but he was also really loud when he would drink. I don't think he drinks anymore. But we were at a place called Gene's Jukebox one night, and we were 17 or 18, but they just didn't card. But he kept, I want another shot, I want another shot. And you can see the sun coming in. The building's no longer there. It's behind the funeral home down on South Side, right around where La Casino used to be. But the bartender got so fed up when he went to the bathroom, he squeezed the bar mat out into a shot glass.
Man.
And we watched him shoot that.
Oh, good thing you didn't tell him.
We didn't tell
I'd
him.
rather have that envelope.
Hey, it was time for him to go to bed.
That is the
breath.
Mystery Fifth Hour presented by McCurry Van and Car Rental, the local rental company you can depend on. All kinds of vehicles like the trucks, SUVs, passenger vans that are tough to find. They make it easy. And they get you in and out fast. Locations in Athens, Muscle Shoals, Huntsville, and Coleman on 2nd Avenue Northwest. You can call and reserve your rental today, 256-559-1003. That's 256-559-1003 or McCurryRentals.com. That is McCurryRentals.com. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already on our YouTube channel, and set your alerts so you always know when we're live, 9 to 1 every single weekday. Make sure to follow us on social media at Next Round Live as well. Thank you for joining us on the Mystery Fifth Hour.